I am 27 weeks pregnant, so this is my last week of the second trimester. So it's all very, very exciting. I'm finding the bump is getting bigger, but I thought it would be getting bigger than it is. So it's still like a little mound, but yeah, pregnancy clothes are starting to get stuck under my boobs. Or no, just clothes in general are starting to get stuck in under my boobs. But I wanted to talk a wee bit about maternity clothes today because I've been looking into getting some things. I've been looking on a number of websites. And in general, they look really boring and drab and dull and ugly and they're overpriced. I don't know if this is something that other people are finding, but I just feel like I need to get into fashion design for maternity wear. I've no idea where to begin, but I'm going to speak with a friend of mine who is a fashion designer and see what can I do with this problem that I've encountered. So in the last couple of weeks, I've had a horrendous cold and just has wanted to linger. So got it on the Monday of last week and now we're like on the following Sunday and I feel like I'm finally coming out of it. So it's nearly 2 weeks and you feel like you're over one part of it and then like the next tickly part of it comes. And I'm fine during the day apart from the exhaustion from not sleeping and all that time, but at night time it's just like torture, you know, like sleep deprivation torture. So I ended up going to the pharmacist who was collecting tablets anyway, and I just said, is there any of those cough medicines I can take? Because it was like at night I'd developed this like really tickly, mucousy, horrible cough. So I asked for this Benylin mucousy cough stuff, specific for night time, and the lady went to speak to the pharmacist, and the pharmacist then, I'm sure he was just on Google, like doing whatever I could have done, but he came over and said, well, I wouldn't recommend it. I'd recommend paracetamol and lots of rest. So my face just dropped. I was like, I am trying to rest. I am taking paracetamol. So I kind of decided, you know, probably should be following I wouldn't recommend it advice, but I really needed to sleep and I felt the baby's cooked. So I took it for like once a night for 3 nights and it's solved all problems. So I'm starting to come out the other side of sleep, and my friend has me warned that in the 3rd trimester you just don't really sleep. So I'm just very glad that I am in a position to be able to go for naps whenever I need to, because I just hate being tired. It's horrible. And just on the whole, getting your hands on tablets and repeat prescriptions and stuff, I'm really concerned about women who are in this country who are pregnant and have communication difficulties for one reason or another. So I, from my 16-week appointment, was told I need to be on aspirin and a higher dose of folic acid. And they only give you like a short amount on your script, and you have to go around all the houses to try and get your hands on more of them. And then like when you're booking appointments, it's a bit of a minefield as well. So I'll tell you in a second what happened there, but I just think things are made quite difficult, and because I'm the kind of person who perseveres and is a communicator by nature, I get things done. But there'd be a lot of people out there that would be really put off by the processes. Things are made very difficult for women when they're pregnant, I think. And I do feel very fortunate for the maternity services that I have access to, don't get me wrong. But I just think things are made difficult when they do not need to be made as difficult as they are. So I think it was like a lot of irrationality linked to sleep deprivation. I took myself in to get checked on Saturday because I felt reduced movement on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and anyway, I had the Doppler thingamajig and picked up a good heartbeat, and then I was put in a monitor and took ages in that thing. That should have been 20 minutes and I didn't hear them say it could take up to an hour. My husband did. So anyway, it was on it for over an hour, and everybody else that was on these same things were pressing the beeper thing every time they felt a movement. It took me at least 20 minutes to be able to like feel something to press it. So anyway, I did eventually press it a number of times and got told it was okay to go, but I had to come in on the Monday for another scan, just to check on everything. So I went in on the Monday and I could see the baby blinking. It was gorgeous. And it was playing with its wee ear. And then as it was playing with its cord, it meant that blood flow was affected. So I was put in the monitor again, and then I was told I had to speak to a doctor. Anyway, no doctor came available by the time I had to leave. Like, I was there for 4.5 hours. So I had to go at this point. And because for a work thing, and I was booked in for another scan, and I was told I would have to come for 4 weekly scans because of my age. So that had never been mentioned before. And then when I looked through the yellow notes, it seems to correlate with that. But the next scan that I'm supposed to be having next week, I can't go to it. And I was told to go to the desk to get that changed. So I went to the desk, and the desk tells me, oh no, you have to ring the appointments line. And I've been trying to ring the appointments line, can't get through to anybody. But it's just, things are made difficult, and it doesn't need to be that difficult, in my opinion. My husband's a doctor in a different trust, and he's like, they just, like, he gets quite frustrated when we go in. He's like, they just want to fob everybody off between one person and the next, rather than just dealing with things that they could deal with. And I'm inclined to agree with him, but I'm not as cynical, and I'm grateful for any help I'm given, I suppose. So I have had a real strong notion that I need a holiday. I'm just dying to lie by a pool somewhere hot, get into the pool, go for a swim, read my book. And my husband's like, well, what is it that you're going to need to do all of the time that you're lying by that pool? You're just going to need to go for a wee the entire time, aren't you? And he is right, which is really, really annoying. But we're going to have a little bit of a baby moon in Donegal for a few days next week, which will be lovely. I've also developed the whole sore feet phenomenon when I'm walking around too much. I just need a wee constantly, so I can't go and do a big proper walk anymore. But yeah, the sore feet is a real thing, so I need to make sure I've always got proper trainers on. So the wee baby is now about the size of a head of a cauliflower. And I find that hard to understand because of how much room in my belly it's taken up. But I'm starting to feel like this is real now, that there's a real baby inside me. But I'm still struggling to fathom with how that's going to translate to having a real baby in the real world that I give birth to. It's going to be fit and healthy, arrive safely. Like, I'm still struggling with releasing that level of anxiety, I suppose. And something else I've been thinking as well is that I don't understand how some women take this for granted. And I probably shouldn't be putting these assumptions on people, but there are women that just churn out baby after baby after baby after baby. And like, I used to be a teacher, so I would have seen a lot of children come through the doors of school, and you'd find out that the mother's pregnant again. You're like, oh my God. I'll say no more about that, but just to know how hard it is to get pregnant, and for this little miracle to be in my belly growing and still here, I just find it amazing that there are people out there that don't realise how lucky they are. I don't know if they realise how lucky they are, but I'm kind of living under that assumption that there's other people out there that have no idea how easy they've got it to make these wee babies, and again and again and again and again and again, and some of us struggle to have the one. The only other issue I have had this week is the whole maternity allowance thing. Oh my God, crikey bums. So I am now self-employed, and I'm not entitled to statutory maternity leave per se, but we are going to do shared parental leave. And the whole thing's a complete minefield with maternity allowance. So we have 39 weeks to share with each other. Is kind of what I'm gathering. And some husband's going to take some full paid paternity leave, and then I'm going to take the rest. But in those 39 weeks, I'm only allowed to do 10 kit days. So And that might be me working for 5 minutes. It could be me working for 5 hours or for 18 hours. But at the end of the day, it's still a kit day on a calendar day. So I've got quite a lot of weddings booked in, so each wedding's going to be one of them, and I'm not going to be able to do any more. But I think that going from having a full employed job to now being self-employed with a wee business that I'm deeply passionate about, it's hard to think of the whole not working thing. But I also owe it to myself and this wee baby to take some time together to just enjoy being a new mummy. And the work will come back to me when the time is right. But yeah, so that's where I am at with 27 weeks, nearly 28 actually. So I'll be giving a wee update in a few days on my 28-week progress. Again, thank you for listening to me warbling on with my pregnancy updates.